Hello everyone, Sumu here, and welcome back for part 2 of my compact killer guides. Today I'll be going over Wraith, his power, his perks, builds, and general tips. Let's get started. Wraith power is quite unique, with a lot of effects, especially with the help of add-ons. But let's focus on his base kit. While cloaked, Wraith is almost invisible, appearing as a moving blur. When he stands still though, he turns completely invisible. You can always hear the Wraith easily since his breath is a pretty loud growl. It takes 1.5 seconds to cloak, and Wraith also moves faster while cloaked, from his normal 4.6 meters a second to 6 meters a second. While uncloaking, he slows himself down to 1.6 meters a second for 3 seconds, and afterwards speeds up to 6.9 meters a second. Nice. For 1 second. This speed stacks with lunges, meaning you can get a very long and fast lunge using this speed boost. Wraith is also one of 2 killers affected by quite honestly outdated mechanic of light burn. While cloaked, after the flashlight has been hitting Wraith for 2 seconds, he gets stunned for 4 seconds, uncloaking in that duration. Burns also works with flashbangs, blast mines, firecrackers, and everything else that blinds killers. Of course, Wraith, as every other character, comes with 3 unique perks of his own. Predator is one of, if not the, worst perks in the game. What it does is make scratch marks appear closer together. The reason why I say it's the worst is that scratch marks are easy enough to track. Plus, there's many survivor perks that hide scratch marks, so it could easily just become a useless perk. Another reason it's a pretty bad perk is since it makes scratch marks appear closer together, it means they don't spawn on walls as much, meaning you cannot really see scratch marks from far away. Next, Bloodhound, another pretty terrible perk. Although it might sound nice to see blood better, the fact that it makes blood stay on the ground longer can easily hurt you more than help, seeing older pools of blood like they're still brand new. Plus, once again, blood is pretty easy to track on 90% of maps. Last and, again, least, Shadowborn. Memes aside, the increased FOV can be slightly useful in some killers, but it's more or less nothing important. The most used and common playstyle with Wraith is hit and run, meaning you go around hitting survivors, and if they are in an easy to go down area, you just leave them for someone else. This is quite effective as it makes survivors either risk being caught off guard next time you find them and get downed, or spend precious time healing over and over. Wraith is very good at dealing the first hit in chases, with his low visibility and high speed allowing him to sneak up to survivors. Although this is a good playstyle to use, I personally play Wraith completely differently, staying in the survivors I found until they're down, using my power and perks to shred through all the survivors' resources. Cloaking right after hitting a survivor is important, if they made sizable distance, to make sure you catch up to them fast. Also, Wraith can use his big and fast uncloaked lunge to hit survivors around small loops, similar to what Pig can do with her ambush. Time for builds. First of all, the build I use. Warning here, this is absolutely not a great build on Wraith, it's more of a meme, but alas. Coup de grace. To make the uncloak lunge even longer, Brutal Strength to get rid of pallets fast, Bamboozle to vault windows fast and block them, and finally Fire Up to make both vaulting and breaking even faster. Now for an actually good build on Wraith. Sloppy Butcher. Sloppy Butcher makes the hit and run playstyle pretty damn good, because it makes survivors take even longer to heal, and because of hemorrhage, when they stop healing, they rapidly lose their healing progress. Save the best for last is also a pretty good perk on Wraith. Every time you hit a non-obsession, you get a stack, up to 8 stacks. Each stack reduces your attack cooldown by 5%. When you hit the obsession, you lose 2 stacks. Other good Wraith perks include Call of Brine and Overcharge for massive gen regression, and even Devour Hope, since he can get away from hooks pretty fast. And for a build using only general perks, I'd use Sloppy Butcher once again, along with Noed for endgame pressure, Fearmonger for easier first hits because it makes survivors exhausted when touching a generator and for 3 seconds afterwards, and either Jolt for some small gen regression when downing survivors, or Monster Shrine for faster entity progression on the hook. Never thought I'd recommend Monster Shrine. What Monster Shrine does specifically is it spawns 4 Scourge hooks, plus makes the basement hooks Scourge hooks. And when you hook a survivor on a Scourge hook and are 24 meters away from them, the progression of their entity before they die is 20% faster. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed and learned something today. Tune in on Wednesday for the follow-up to this vid where I play the builds I recommend.